Liberians, our forest is rich, like paradise in Africa. It's the place where this animal lives. Our animal are unique to the world. The forest make it rain. The forest protect us. The forest is the home of our wildlife. The forest make Liberia rich. Let's keep our forest alive so that we can stay alive. Liberians, what do we have to show when we give the forest away? My people, what thing we will get to? What will we benefit when we sell our forest? Liberians, don't destroy the forest. What do we have to show when we give the forest away? What do we have to show when we break it down?
A pleasant afternoon and welcome to another interesting edition of the program Forest Hour on OKFM 99.5. We are here Thursday 4 to 5 o'clock. Today is the 16th day of October 2025. It's always a pleasure to come and talk about the issues that matter, most especially they concern the forestry sector of our country. And I know you agree with me that is one of the richest, sectors in the country. In fact, maybe in the world, because the forest possesses a lot of important things. This afternoon, we are looking at a major team that the Forestry Development Authority is hosting this year's National Forest Forum on. And it's the team Liberia Forest Forum 2025, leveraging Liberia's forest for economic, social, and environmental sustainability. Last edition of the program, we played you a 4-minute audio of the Deputy Managing Director for Community Conservation and Carbon at the FDA, Madam Nora Bowire. She was basically introducing this program. So we thought to extend the time that we can have more conversation on this upcoming event and maybe talk about other things unfolding at the FDA and other issues that may arise during the conversation. You don't want to miss this. We'll be right back after this break.
To come and see what we have. They come to see our animals, our beautiful beaches and waterways. Let's keep our forests alive so that we benefit forever and ever.
My people, yeah, let's protect our forest.
Protect it all. Protect it all.
My people, yeah, let's protect our forest.
Protect it all. We must protect it.
Exactly. Let's protect the forest. The forest is our future. Let's protect the forest. The forest helps us in so many ways. Let me say good afternoon, Joy. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Matthias. Welcome as well.
Right.
And welcome to Nora. I don't know your last name.
Bowire.
Bowire, okay. Miss Bowire. Thanks for being with us today. As usual, we have the Alternative Youth Radio that is in the Lofa County. We have the Voice of Babulu in the Bopulu City, Liberty Radio in the Greenville, Sano County, Radio Halengi that is in the Kulahon District, and the Riverside Broadcasting Service in the Riverside County. So these are the stations you can get this program on. It's being relayed on these following stations in the various counties. So again, if you want to get the program and maybe due to some networking problem, you're unable to get OKFM or you're unable to get the internet live OKFM, you could join these stations to get the program. Thank you.
And exactly, join the station to get the program because we believe from the crafters of this program and the designers of it, we concluded that we cannot sit in Monrovia and discuss forest-related issues affecting the rural communities without, getting them involved. I know most times some of you who have listened to this program for a long time, you may have gotten frustrated that you don't really hear the people participating from the rural communities. But one thing I've understood about radio is that most times people learn a lot by listening and just taking notes and processing the information. They don't necessarily have to place a call from Riverside or so on, but they listen. And we've done our survey. We have found out that they listen. Our guest is an official at the Forestry Development Authority. And Joy, it will interest you to know that Nora has been an advocate of the sector. She used to be with the SDR, and she's done a lot of, many times she came here, we talk about different issues arising from the forestry sector. Now she's in the decision-making position.
Okay.
She supersedes the department at the ministry that's responsible for community conservation, one of the biggest, should I say, projects right now that countries are executing regarding, forestry conservation, one of the biggest. And she's also supervising or superseding the carbon area, another big area.
Right.
All right. But she's here to talk about this upcoming event. I'm very sure this event will give a lot of people opportunity to know what is expected. To the fellow who called the last time from the IOM, I hope he's listening now so he can ask all of the questions. Good afternoon, Honorable Bowire. It's my introduction too bulky, too long-winded.
Yeah, I'm kind of ready to get into the conversation, but the introduction is fine. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. How are you doing? It's been a long time.
I'm good. Thank you, Matthias.
Right.
I'm doing well.
I mean, you have your transition, fully, it's smoothly. Was it a smooth one for you? I mean, leaving. I gotta confess, it's been difficult for me leaving mainstream journalism, as I've always been doing it, to enter the civil society, particularly reporting the forestry. It's a whole technical environment and thing. How was it for you leaving civil society and going into government?
It was smooth. I know I'm coming from a background with CSO and advocacy, but the technical work are not different from what I'm doing now. The technical work I was doing is similar to what I do now at the FDA, because I have oversight in three departments, community conservation, and these are things that I've worked on in the past. So transitioning wasn't hard.
All right. Let's talk a bit before we get to the event and main reason you're here. Tell us about your role at the FDA. Talking about community conservation and carbon. What are your responsibilities? What do you need to do?
Okay, so I supervise those three departments. Working with them, the conservation department is responsible to manage areas that are put under protection. We also, under conservation, establish new protected areas. So I'm working with them on that. We have carbon. Under carbon, we are operationalizing a department to be able to engage on the carbon market, to be able to lead the government efforts in trading carbon at the FDA. So we've been working on that as well. Under them. So we work with them, provide technical support to enable them set up their systems for managing the forest land, and it can either be for conservation purpose or for commercial purpose. So we support the communities towards that.
When you go through that process, there's a process called 9-step process that communities go through to be eligible to be called a community forest. Thereafter, in an event where the community invite in companies now to start, harvesting logs in their area, how do you get involved with, supervising the relationship between the community and the companies?
Okay, so first of all, we work with the communities to go through a 9-step process.
Right.
Following that, we formally sign an agreement with them. That agreement provides for them to be able to undertake the logging activity, or, like I was saying, conservation activity. And then they go into an agreement with a third party. That can be a concessionaire,
Right.
under commercial, under conservation. Conservation is really beginning now,
Right.
but for commercial, it has been happening for a long while. So under commercial forestry, the community engages with a company. So we provide oversight of the negotiations with the community, between the community and the company. We attest to the agreements. We provide a framework, first of all, that the community used to negotiate the agreement with a third party. And then we attest to the agreement, monitor implementation, and then ensure that each party are able to deliver on their obligations.
What do you see the lapses often? Is it from the community or from the company? That question is very deliberate. Like the other questions, it's so deliberate that I need you to first of all respond in a way, whatever way, so I can pull another one, because I want you to tell me honestly that Matthias, between the community, right, and the companies, these are partners. There's a relationship they have, a business relationship. You are the supervisor who sometimes or often defaults on the agreement.
Well, there are several complaints we've been receiving recently, and based on these complaints, I would say a particular company, because the company haven't been able to meet up with their obligations.
Maybe I am not privy to that particular clause of the law, the forest law, or your mandate or so. When situation like that arises, among the community and companies in areas, what does the law say that you can do to ameliorate the problem?
No, but the contract spells out how community can address, or how the company can address issues arising from the contract, from any party.
So you have a situation, Nora. You have a situation, for example, let me start beating around the bush. Joy, last edition we discussed a story about unmasking, abandon the issue of abandoned logs. All right,
yeah,
in several counties. I think there are about 3 or 4 counties that were highlighted in that report. It's a detailed report. I can share the link with you after.
Nimba,
Yes,
Grandchildren,
Sino, and Basel.
Yeah.
So you have companies leaving logs unattended to, and communities complain about these companies not living up to their side of the agreement. But the very resources that the companies have taken from their forest, the resources are seen right before them decaying. What is the FDA doing about punishing companies for abandoning logs? Because the law is very clear. You have the 30 days, you have 90 days, you have 150 days, grace periods, and 10 days, or so on. How
The abandoned log issue is not a new issue. We met that when we.
I'm not blaming you squarely. It's a responsibility of the FDA. Whatever administration takes over, you have to handle it. How are you handling it under your administration?
Yeah. So when we got on board, we did an assessment across the country, and after that, the commercial. I'm now the head of commercial, so we have a whole commercial department, and we have the head, the deputy for commercial and technical service. They are working together to be able to address the issue about commercial logs. I mean, some of these things have legal implication. Contracting has legal implications. So when you sign a contract, there are different provisions that the contract provides that sometimes doesn't allow you to be able to address an issue as you see it.
Prevent the FDA from
literally
addressing the issue of abandoned logs?
Yeah.
Are there clauses in contracts?
So there are.
Nora, are you saying the contracts
So I will
agreement
not-
supersede the forest law
Okay,
that
so-
guards your responsibility
So
as the
for
FDA?
what I'm saying is that a commercial related issue. So maybe get you once she's on there, you can.
No, don't
can
do
tell-
that. Don't do that now, Nora. I mean, this is a whole FDA thing.
No, I think-
whether it's commercial. Now, let's look at it from this angle. Let me take it from commercial. You are responsible for conservation. The people decide, okay, we want to make money from this area. They are engaging into logging now. Don't you think that somebody would sit down and say, but why not Nora get in? Maybe not usurping the function of a colleague, and start to educate the communities. Go back to the communities. Say, if you're losing this amount of logs, in few years from now, your forests will get depleted. So instead of logging, conservation, because it seems there's a problem with you punishing these companies, that are abandoning logs. I hope I'm connecting the dots here.
No, there are um, actions that the FDA has taken to address some issues of illegality. Some companies have been punished. Like I say, abandoned log issue is not just literally as you see it. Abandoned log issue, provisions in the contract, can have implications for how you proceed. So our legal department and the commercial department are handling that issue.
So the thousands of logs that are abandoned, meanwhile, while your commercial, your legal departments sit down to handle these issues, so we're going to be losing thousands of logs in the forest. Until they get done, then the communities don't have anything to benefit. Is that it?
No, that's not exactly.
What kind of approach the two people even bring to the FDA? Nora, let me get. Is it robust? Is it the usual pampering?
Matthias, I was hoping we could talk about the Forestry Forum.
You know that these questions are promoting the Forestry Forum because the public will now see the need for the Forestry Forum to be held there where they can go out and ask more tougher questions. Right.
Obviously, but
okay, they've just learned on that one.
We could have invited the commercial department and our legal department. Then you can have the opportunity to dig into the conversation you want to dig into on the abandoned log issue because that's related to commercial.
Let me inform the public, Joy, that we've just been informed by one of our colleagues, journalist Darius Dino Delight Depe, says that the program is, some of the questions regarding this abandoned log thing. But we're going to delve into it another time. Yes,
okay,
Joy.
Yes, I want us to also dive into the Forest Forum to get some information spread out there so the people can understand what this entire thing is about. So do you mind telling us what is the Forest Forum about?
Yeah, sure. So we are organizing a National Forest Forum from November 3rd to November 5th, 2025. Under the theme, leveraging Liberia's forests for economic, social, and environmental sustainability.
Okay.
The forum is going to be held at the Ellen Johnson Ministerial Complex. The forum is going to bring together a wide range of stakeholders from within the forestry sector in Liberia and internationally. In Liberia, we're going to have rural communities. We're going to have CSOs. We are going to have government entities. We are going to have NGOs, donor partners, and international guests that will be coming also will be invited from Guyana, Ghana, Sierra Leone, and Ivory Coast.
Okay, and what are some of the topics that will be discussed at the forum?
So we will be discussing several topics, but focusing on the core pillars of FDA. So those core pillars are conservation, community, carbon, and commercial.
Okay.
We will use the forum to highlight some accomplishments of the FDA, challenges we have faced in managing the forestry sector, and also look at how we want to move forward. It's an opportunity that will bring together all these different stakeholders to discuss these key topics and be able to suggest, make recommendations, and we can all find a common ground on how we can take the sector forward.
We are in 20 year Joy.
Okay. So this gone Thursday, Matthias conducted a very short interview with you where it was played on air, and you mentioned in the interview that the the first forum, the participant will be selected. Can you tell us how and why they are selected? Why it's not open up to the public?
Oh, I mean, like any event, you have to be able to conduct it in a way that it is manageable.
Okay.
So just opening up to the public, you would have you might have a lot of people, lot more people than you can contain. So we have to have a specific number, which our total number is 150.
Okay.
And we have to also target those actors that are involved in forestry sector activities.
So how are the participants selected?
So from community, we're selecting participants from all counties, from those forest affected counties. From some of them will come from those that are affected by commercial logging. Some will come from those where we have protected areas. Some will come from communities who are formalizing the land. Currently, we know the Land Rights Act is in full swing now, and some of the communities are following the Land Rights Act regulations to be able to formalize the land, document the land, get deed for the land. So some of those communities have set up their governing structures, community groups that will be able to lead the management of land in their communities. So representatives from the community groups will come as well. We will also have women selected from different parts of the rural areas.
Okay.
And civil society that are working in forestry sector will be around. NGOs, conservation NGOs are also going to be participating in the forum. And these are people we work with, on an ongoing basis.
All right.
Even the media are going to be present too. There are media coalition groups that will be invited.
Oh, yes, that's nice.
I'm very sure Liberia Forest Media Watch will be invited.
Yeah,
Two participants, please.
if not, there will be a problem.
Liberia Forest Media Watch has been invited.
So let me get in a little bit, Joy.
Yeah, okay.
One criticism that most times that institutions like the FDA or any government institution will get from the public is that they are gathering again. This is an opportunity to sit down, talk, write, and work out of there, put the papers on the shelf, get dusty, and no line in that paper will be implemented. For example, we have the JRC that goes on every year. At the JAKE, there are issues raised and so on. Sometimes when you go back to the next JAKE, you still have these very issues, existing in the various areas and things. How would this forum ensure that the Mr. Rudolph Merab's administration of the FDA is proactive in that, for example, the issue of abandoned logs is addressed effectively?
That's so interesting. You keep emphasizing on abandoned logs.
It's actually painful.
Because the thing is, the very people you take in from the various communities that you take in from the 15 counties, they are not just going to come like that. There are people going to call them and
we
coach them.
organize in the forum as a new administration. This is an opportunity for us to have a dialogue with partners, with stakeholders, with community members who face, these challenges that you are speaking of. It's an opportunity that brings us together for us to have an honest conversation on how we can fix the sector. We know that there are problems. Nobody is playing a blind eye to the problems that we are facing in the sector. The abandoned logs is a challenging problem that we continue to face, and we hope that we can find a way forward on that. So this platform would enable us to delve into all parts of forestry in Liberia, all different issues on forestry in Liberia, and then come up with proposed actions and recommendations that can be used now to guide the FDA in moving forward and in managing forestry in Liberia. One of the key things we aim to do at the forum, as a result of this forum, is to ensure that we set up a strategy for increasing revenue and income from the forestry sector. We know that we want to ensure that the forestry sector is able to, we can maximize our potential for forestry in Liberia. The forestry sector used to provide to our country around 2014, 2015, about 10% of the GDP in Liberia. Also, forestry sector provides livelihood for a wide range of rural communities in Liberia. Forestry sector is also, our forestry sector, we hold 6.6 million hectares of forest. And this is this forest is termed as a biodiversity hotspot,
Right.
Globally. So the forestry sector has the potential to help us deliver on benefits and provide financial resources to enhance development in our country. So we want to ensure that we can come up with strategies, we can come up with plans that will enable us move the forestry sector forward. We want to improve benefit sharing. We have challenges around how benefits are managed. So we want to look at that as well. We want to enhance interagency collaboration. We have several other government agencies and ministries that we interface within our work.
Yeah.
And therefore there's needs for regular discussions and meetings. So we want to see how we can work together better so that we strengthen forestry sector so that it delivers the maximum benefits to Liberians and the country at large.
Well, when you talk about resource mobilization, that is an ambitious, I must say, it's an ambitious move there on the part of the FDA, domestic financing and resource mobilization. But with the enormous challenges that you mostly complain about, personally, as an institution, institutionally, you say that the issue of budgetary support still remains a problem for you. You have issue with manpower. You don't have rangers enough to mend the forest of the country. The last time the managing director was here, I think he said the entire country, you people have less than 120 rangers, which means the forest is vulnerable to intruders, to violators or so. How are you going to ensure that you enhance domestic finance mobilization through the forestry sector when it is, not properly kept as far as security is concerned?
Well, yes, we are constrained. We have limited resources. Nationally, we have limited resources.
But do you have the technicians?
And even in, resources is human resources, financial resources. Okay. We are constrained. Even nationally, beyond FDA, that's a challenge.
Just speak about your institution, because there are institutions that may have different approaches.
I speak of my institution.
But when you say nationally, are you stepping outside of the FDA?
For the government to allocate budget, it takes into consideration the country as a whole. So,
but shouldn't you be engaging government rather than maybe trying to think for the government that it does not have money to?
But that's the reality. Even if I engage government, the reality is there are so many priorities.
So what are the options on the table for you?
That the government has to be able to consider as it allocate resources. So we receive some resources that we are working with, and obviously we have challenge with manpower in the forestry sector, especially to ensure that we protect the the reserve areas. However, since we got on, some efforts have been made. Currently, we are working within the Sapo National Park to be able to clear people off. We are working with the government to be able to increase manpower. The Finance Ministry and us have been having discussions to increase manpower. But we need to do better when it comes to, when it comes to getting or ensuring that the finances we raise from forestry sector is sustained and is adequate. So this firm is also going to be looking into that aspect.
Are you saying that you're already seeing the areas that you can generate more money through the forestry sector, but you don't have, yet you have problem with, with support. If there's an opportunity for you to generate more money.
So currently we're discussing the carbon framework. I guess you're aware the carbon policy. We are trying to, engage on the carbon market. It's an opportunity to get more funding into the forestry sector. We have a lot of forests in our country, and the carbon market is such that once you are able to negotiate a deal, you can reserve your forest and get paid for it. So we are setting up the framework for engaging in the carbon market. And that when we set up that framework, we can now go internationally and engage with partners who can, pay us to reserve our forests. And we can get income. So that's one of the things we're going to be discussing thoroughly in the forestry sector to ensure that we can get income to support forestry in Liberia and conservation in Liberia. Also, on a policy level, we're also trying to see how we can get taxes, part of the taxes that come in the government, how to be able to use some of that amount to be able to contribute to conservation in Liberia.
Madam Bowire, there, folks, if you're just joining us, you're listening to Forest Hour on OKFM 99.5. This program is brought to you by the Liberia Forest Media Watch with sponsorship from the European Union through the French Development Agency in Simempu in Finland. This afternoon, we are talking about the upcoming Liberia National Forest Forum, slated for the 3rd to the 5th of November 2025. So this I very much admire the honesty from them when it comes to the issue of constraint. All right, he who feels it knows it. So they feel it, so they know the story, they know, and they tell it, and they are telling.
I think it also links to you too.
Right, so they're telling their story in a way that asking for more support. But let's hear you. Call us on the numbers now: 0777 700 0777 700 0555 905 are the numbers you can call us on to participate on the program this afternoon. We have the Deputy Managing Director for Community Conservation, Community Forestry Conservation, and Carbon at the Forestry Development Authority, Madam Nora Bowire. And she's here this afternoon to talk about the upcoming event, that is the National Forest Forum. Yeah.
Let me get a quick question before the public answer.
Right.
From the press release that were released yesterday from the FDA concerning this forest forum, I think back in 2020.
Release?
Yeah, there's
a press release.
Something from your communication arm that was shared with us. Probably just shared with us. Yeah. Go ahead.
Back in 2023, this forum was also held. I guess you guys were not empowered them, but are there any documents that show some of the challenges that were faced during the 2023 forum that you would like to address? Maybe from the forum that was held in 2020, the same forest forum, and you notice maybe you got some documents that you read through to see some of the problems that was held or faced at the forum, some of the challenges that, or some of the things that they plan to meet up with that they did not meet up with at that time that you would like to talk about?
Oh, okay. So, yes, this forum is not a first. In 2023, we held a forum that brought together also stakeholders across the country to discuss forestry issues. And similar challenges. So the challenges we face include one, deforestation. I know it's getting worse now due to the cocoa farming expansion, but deforestation from large-scale agriculture, deforestation from shifting agriculture, some issues that were highlighted. before. Also, challenges around benefit sharing and community governance as issues that were highlighted before. These are similar issues we also want to look into. A key issue also that was discussed in the previous forum has to do with how to put in place a framework for engaging in the carbon market.
Okay.
So this is something that will be coming up in this forum, and this is something that the FDA is also working on along with other government entities. We are designing a policy framework for engaging in the carbon market, even though EPA is leading it, but FDA is fully involved with the process as well. And this is going to be a topic that will be coming up in the forum. Interagency collaboration and coordination is.
This evening.
Let's hear you, Tape.
Yeah, okay, so I want to say thank you for this program as always following. Well, I may not have the opportunity to attend the program, but I have a concern, serious burning concern, that maybe your studio guests can maybe throw a light on it, concerning the same forestry. The issue has to do with, like, we all know forestry, like logging, used to be one of the source of income in our country. And like for some of us, our parents we benefited from logging. My father used to work for a logging company, Vampla, those days back in the 80s, Vampla, and then later on came to GTRA, from GTRA he came to OTC, that was set up by the Hospital Cooper family. So now, I observed since, I think, almost 20 years now, I've not heard anything about logging in Liberia, like as it used to be those days, like I counted. Like, there's no logging going on in this country. Is that because our forests being deforested or what?
Okay.
And there's like no concession about that.
Okay.
It's very been getting to me, but I hope that she will throw a little light on that.
Thank you. He's saying that it seems like there's no logging going on in Liberia anymore like it used to be done. Companies were here, doing logging on a large scale, and then, large scale, and at the same time shipping and giving jobs to people. But it seems like, the Tapa is saying, is it that no logging going on again? But Tapa, when you hear talking about a banner log, that logging business, only logging can bring a banner log. So, I mean, that's another way. But call us on those numbers. 0777 700 0777 700 0555 Hello?
Hello?
Yes, let's hear you.
Thank you so much. This is G. Davis coming from Sando County, the disability activist.
You're calling from Sino County?
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us from Sino. Where in Sino are you joining us from?
Greenville.
Greenville, Sino. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. The program being relayed through the radio. We always get here.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I want to appreciate the studio guests. My concern has to do with the issues of girls and our forest and our national park in our country. We are expecting national guests or whosoever to come to see how best our forest in our countries, how the people are operating. We cannot find the beauties of the forest in the national park again. Illegal mining is going through. And in our countries, the way the knowledge of which the lodges are going on, our forest is going. No reforestation, the banner laws, all the things there. Why? Because forestry have the rights to stop any other person. Illegal mining is say in the forest. Our national heritage, we cannot find it. Our animals, our protected species are there. We cannot find some of the things. Few days ago, we see some zebra tigers and zebra and hippopotami enter some people's town near the park area because of the illegal mining on the water and the lifestyle. Some part of year before life, we see our elephant, those protected species, enter some villages in Rubaji area. Why the forest states are doing about our forests? We come in lost our national heritage and the large tropical forests in Africa that we find.
Thank
you
you.
Cannot find the beauty of the forest. Where are they doing that? He said that the banner law against some group. But forestry working as a team.
Okay.
The forestry is a team.
Thank you.
You can't say that so and so thing they got somebody get director. But you are as a team worker, look, I this thing I be complaining all this. What can we do about it and have a meeting and see how best?
Yeah, I think that's what Nora and the entire management there is organizing. They are organizing, I mean, the forum. So I hope you have an opportunity to come to town to participate in the forum. Let's hear from this person. Hello.
Yeah, Matayo, how you doing?
Fine, thank you. Mr. Tate?
Yeah, Tati, yes.
Go ahead.
And let me say hi to George and your guest. See, when these things start to go on, especially the guy who called from Lofa, he had a good concern. You know, those days that logging companies used to provide some of the jobs around the country. You know, and you see that even the logging companies that in recent times will have a loss, abandon it, they want to be able to carry the carry, then that abandon won't be there. And FDA will be looking at those things, and they don't find those people. They don't hold them accountable. I think you and your guests were going back and forth. So if you do that, then the laymen to the villages who they mind those forests will see that FDA is accomplished. Because as a government, you want take charge. But I don't know when the people come from the forest and they come, they bring 3 more to town, then they agree with them in the place that you say you want to carry on deforestation. But the very forest you want to deforest, you want to carry forestation, the people continue to deforest it, the blocks are supposed to be there, even if they harvest it, if they leave it there and say, okay, we'll tell you what the community can do some soil and all those kind of things to build their homes and other things. It live in the forest where the people can get to. Then, I don't know. And then FDA is trying to play around. It's not intellectual business.
Okay.
No, when it comes to punishing or logging companies that default, it's not intellectual.
Okay.
See some of them that do pay a quota to the land right and all those kind of things. People just looking at there. I don't know. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you so much. Thanks for your contribution. Let's hear from this person. Hello.
Yeah.
Let's hear you.
My issue has to do with the abandoned law.
What is the name and where you join us from, sir?
I'm Amos calling you from Monrovia.
Amos, go ahead, Amos.
My issue has to do with the abandoned law. There's a company, a fellow that left from Singapore. He's a Indian national. This guy came, he registered 3 companies. One was in number 4, another one was in Lofa County, the 14 Africa. Another one in Bapolo, the 4 Indo Africa. That man just seen he play on all year. I work with him. Just seen he play on all year. He was owing all a lot of money. When thanking he skipped the last man keep from Bapolo. He ran away. One morning to office, he said, your boss man gone. When he left, we used to get in contact with him. He said he would come.
So ask your question, please.
And why FDA deal with those abandoned law that in Bapolo now more than 10,000 TB?
Okay.
More than 10,000 TB.
All right.
Expensive law just waiting in Bapolo there.
Thank you so much. Let's move on to this other person. Hello. Yes, hello.
Yeah, thank you very much for the topic on the discussion. My name is Amos Yancey Waller. I do join you this evening from Benji City House.
Go ahead.
I want to ask a question. What FDA are doing to those people that cut down the PB trees? Even in the city, they cut down the plum trees. The plum trees and the PB trees that they cut down, time for harvestone. Those trees protect the houses when it comes to the harvestone. What are they doing? Thank you very much.
Thanks for your contribution. Well, I don't think if I have a tree standing over my house, I would leave it there. I also have to protect my house. I don't know what specific thing you're referring to, but Madam Bowire is going to respond. Let's take at least 1 or 2 more calls and call it a day. This is the program Forest Hour on OKFM 99.5. We have the Deputy Managing Director for Community Forestry Conservation and Carbon at the Forestry Development Authority FDA. Madam Nora Bowire is our guest. She's here to talk about talking about the forum, the Liberia National Forest Forum, that is slated for November 3 to the 5th this year. The forum brings together stakeholders, the forestry sector, government institutions, civil society actors, media institutions, advocate groups, and so on, community people, leaders, superintendents from various counties, 15 counties. They are all drawn from various counties to sit down and discuss issues about the forestry sector, and maybe their suggestions will be tailored into a document that will result to an action plan. With that, let's hear from Madame Bowire. Oh, I think the headphone here. Yeah, thank you. That should be away a little bit. Okay, thank you so much. And there you have it. You took notes.
Okay. Yeah, I think there are 3 or 4 questions that came. Some are similar.
Okay.
So, so the logging sector still exists. You know, Matthias, there are companies that are operating. But let me say, since 2006, we had a reform that introduced new laws, including a community rights law. Under the community rights law, the community has a right to acquire a piece of forest land and get into transaction with a third party. It can be a logging company or an investor interested in conservation or some other programs. So we have several logging companies that are within the country that about 57 communities now have acquired approval from the FDA for that community forest. And there are several of them that are into logging. Unfortunately, the situation is that most of the logging companies have not been able to perform adequately. So that's why you don't see logging happening as skilled as it used to happen before the wartime or during the wartime, because companies that are operating are not performing as they should. But logging is still ongoing, and one of the reasons why we definitely need to hold this forum is because we want to improve the commercial sector in Liberia. We want the country to benefit from commercial activity in Liberia. We want so that logging can be sustainable logging can be able to get back on course. So that's why we are organizing this forum, so that we work towards strengthening the logging sector. The next thing is somebody asked about why there are so much illegal mining activities going on. So yes, you're right. There are illegal mining activity, small scale mining, artisanal mining activity that are going on in some of the even in some of the protected areas.
Right.
We have in Liberia, and the FDA has. I can speak for this current government. I can speak for the past administration. Under our administration, we have been able to liaise with the Mines and Energy, the Ministry of Mines and Energy, to inquire on some of these licenses
Of mining licenses?
mining activities that are going on, and we clearly been told that the Ministry of Mines and Energy hasn't granted anybody the right to operate in protected area.
So the people who are operating in those areas are doing it illegally.
So those are illegal mining activities that are going.
So why not use the same collaboration to ensure that the Mines Ministry and
I think when we make some effort, let it be recognized. So like like you said already, that we are honest that we do not have adequate resources to do the work we have to do.
Let me ask you this question from the live feed, and someone is asking. Bian Howard is asking that he's currently in Jawaje in Grand Cape Mount County monitoring the program. He's asking, how do you increase revenue income from the forest without doing harm to the forest when in fact we are encouraging conservation? How do you increase revenue generation from the forest without harming it, since in fact you
want me to now move to that question?
Well, you can just putting that there. I hope you've taken it down. So yes, use that now to conclude.
It's from there. Our hope is that we will be able to increase manpower. As soon as the illegal occupants are removed, we'll be able to get additional manpower to man the park. We have about 38 um, um, park rangers within SAPO that are protecting the park, and that's inadequate. Our SAPO is 180,000 hectares. We should have, for each 10 hectares, we should have one person, so that we should have at least 180 to 200 people managing the park, and we have 38, so it's inadequate, grossly inadequate. So you don't expect us to be able to protect the park with the limited amount of people we have there.
And what are you doing
We have
towards-
around, if our statistics show that there are about 15,000 illegal occupants in Sapo before we started the removal from there, removing people from there. The number of persons in there were 15,000 illegal occupants. So you can see, how do you expect 38 people to really protect a park that has been encroached upon by the huge number of people? There are settlements in the park. So we've come on board, and we gradually will look into these issues and work towards addressing them. We cannot make a magic.
Am I sensing sort of disappointment in the fact that solutions seem to be far-fetched?
Solutions are not far-fetched. Otherwise, Sapo, the effort we have made in Sapo wouldn't have been made. It's going to be gradual, but we're going to solve these problems.
How do you conserve the forest, and how do you increase,
So
address that?
conservation can happen in different ways. So by protecting, putting forest areas under protection through enactment of the law or by regulation, we are protecting the forest. And these protected areas can also be beneficial, because we can actually be able to trade on the carbon market. So, for example, Sapo or Nima Nature Reserve, or Lake Piso Nature Reserve, these are areas that are reserved, and the government can benefit from it if we are able to negotiate a deal with international or international partners under the carbon arrangement.
I'm just imagining the number of talking. I just want you to close the number of talking you're going to be doing at the forum, with the interaction you just had with the few people that call and the comment I read. What can you say the forum will be like?
Well, I think it's going to be very interactive and interesting. I think we're going to have a lot of ideas from all walks of life coming in there. I think there'll be a lot of debate and exchange of ideas, but at the end of the day, I believe we're going to facilitate a process wherein we're going to be able to reach a conclusion on how to strengthen forestry in Liberia.
How would you like to close, madam?
Well, thank you for the opportunity. I hope we can have another discussion on your abandoned log issue. Guys seem to be quite interested in it. Just send out an invitation.
Are you not interested in the issue of abandoned logs?
I'm interested in addressing the issue of abandoned log.
What do you want to make it my issue?
I came here to discuss a specific topic.
Right. I mean, we adjusted the topic, and abandoned log is a heartbeat.
That was extend an
communities.
invitation to the commercial department. I'm sure Honorable Getchu will be excited to come and discuss with you.
Thank you, Nora. It's always a pleasure having Nora. Joy, how would you like to close?
Okay. Thank you once more, Nora, for coming up to talk about the first forum. We appreciate. I wish you success. I pray that it should not only be about the discussion, but the work afterwards should be done. And I'm hoping that you also share with the public what was discussed, the outcome, and the final
The action plan.
Yeah, thank you.
A talk show and a press conference following the forum to talk about the outcome. So
Okay.
we'll
Okay.
definitely inform the public of that.
We'll be right here.
Thank
Our doors are always open, and that's how we go home today on the program Forest Hour on OKFM 99.5. We are here every Thursday, 4 to 5 o'clock. Today, we play host to the Deputy Managing Director for Community Conservation, Forestry Conservation, and Carbon, at the Forestry Development Authority, Madam Nora G. Bowire. My name is Matthias Labindi. I've been here with my colleague Joy Madiemo. Join us again next Thursday for another fascinating edition of the program Forest Hour.